Let's watch a Disney Channel podcast. Let's watch a Disney Channel podcast. Hey, we're gonna watch a Disney Channel podcast. Let's watch a Disney Channel podcast. I got it in it.
That's fair, yeah.
I was gonna do the one line, and then I was like, nope, gotta...
That's fair, yeah.
I'm gonna keep digging till I hit oil, man.
I mean, I'll admit I pitched that idea.
Yes,
so
you did. That's on you.
So I take credit for it.
You have to take responsibility.
Yeah, I take responsibility for my actions. That one was actually my idea.
Welcome to the Disney Desk. Carter here.
And I'm Sydney.
And we finally made it to the summer. We finally have some time off.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been active. But we have some free time, so we're here to talk about a couple of things.
We have some ideas. We're still working out a system to review movies that doesn't cause us to go insane.
Yeah, we're trying to put together a little more codified systems so that it's bearable to listen to.
Yeah.
As well as not... We were calling them marathon recordings because they would literally take us like 2 hours to get through. It was painful, but we're not gonna... We learned our lesson. We're not gonna do that anymore. And so hopefully by the end of the summer, with the release of the new live-action films like Lion King, we will have a clear plan and some more content on that front for you guys.
And what better way to start this new age of the Disney Desk than reviewing literally every single Disney Channel movie under the sun?
Yes, I would say that we were like the renaissance of Disney Channel original movies, also known as DCOMs.
Yes.
I think we saw the absolute best. I think we saw the most iconic of the DCOMs in our time.
Because I feel like so the Disney Channel movie concept started around 1997, so we might be biased because we grew up when it was starting in nostalgia.
Right, we're like 23. Are you 24? You're about to be 24.
Oh, I don't even know. I think
You're about to be 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were born in the late 90s, and so, would be like the start of these projects, and so we were probably the most coherent around 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
And on.
When they were really churning these things out.
Yeah, and then around 2000, like maybe, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, we became too cool.
Yeah.
It's too cool for school. So I mean, maybe this recording will be a little bit biased. Well, it'll be completely biased.
Oh, yeah, it's impossible not to be biased.
We haven't even heard of, and then some of these are just plain stupid, and other than these are absolute genius.
But I also feel like I feel like it's not just us, because you look at, we've pulled up the timeline. The early 2000s is where you're getting a lot of these. You're getting, in 2004 you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mm-hmm. Now you scroll down to like the current years, and they're making about 2 to 3 a year. So it's very clear that the priorities in terms of content have changed.
Well, also, we have to consider something that, and it just occurred to me, called the Nickelback effect, which I just made up right now. I just made that up, but it's a real thing. It has to do with the way 9/11 affected media. And it's the reason we hate Nickelback. And it was because music became really, like, popular art in general, and became really, really, like, watered down and churned out really quickly after 9/11, because people wanted things that were, like, numb and, like, meaningless post 9/11. And it's the reason that we, like, resent the hell out of Nickelback. That was their peak. Like, but then Green Day came out, and everyone's like, oh, that's real music. Like, do you know what I mean?
God, remember a time when we could call Green Day real art?
Yes. Well, anyway, this applies to television and movies as well. So I believe that when we see this, like, big chunk of movies coming out in the 2000, 2001, 2002, I think we have to consider which of these are just, like, turned out nonsense for sake of pacifying the American people and children of this time, and which of these are actually, thoughtful pieces of work.
Okay, I'll give you a maybe on that. Like, I like the theory. I think it's pretty sound.
Yeah.
My only contention is, I feel like that you could make the argument, like, all right, well, first to start, what inspired us to do this episode is I was watching, go figure, not by choice, my sister put it on, and I was just going through it and watching and seeing, like, these same tropes that you could recognize in every single Disney Channel movie, the archetypes in it, the same things that are in every single Disney Channel movie, and it just got us super nostalgic. And I feel like there's a cutoff point. I kind of put it around High School Musical, but it's probably a little later than that, where they get a new set of tropes, a new set of structures and formulas, and a part of that is why they feel so lame and gross to us now.
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons why it's lame and gross to us now, but I think let's go back to the timeline.
Right.
And apply all of these ideas accordingly.
I think that would be the best way to get our ideas across.
Yes.
We're going to go down the list. We're going to name drop every single one, and we're only going to stop if we have something to say. We're not going to literally talk about, I don't even remember half of these.
No, I don't recognize a lot of these titles.
And that's not healthy.
So, we're just gonna address the ones that, like, spark some kind of meaning to us one way or the other.
Right. The first ever Disney Channel movie, under the branding Disney Channel Original Movie, is 1997's Under Wraps.
No.
I remember there's a mummy, and that's it.
That's it. There's a mummy.
Then
Under Wraps.
We get 98, You Lucky Dog.
No.
Brink.
No.
What is Brink even about? Really quick. Roller skating.
Hockey? Roller hockey?
Yeah, either... It's radical. Well, it's the 90s. You gotta be radical.
It's rad. No, we don't recognize that.
And then we get to the one that's kind of the big break, Halloween Town.
Yes. Okay, this is millennial fuel right here.
Yes, this is one of those...
This is cocaine for us.
Yes.
This was it.
This is one of those ones that I feel like every millennial our age can reference and identify. And honestly, for a kids movie, for a television kids movie, I think it's still pretty good.
It is. It got Debbie Reynolds in that.
It's got... Yeah. This is when they had, like, a degree
budget.
of... Yeah. Well, one, a budget. That's very important. They had a budget.
Uh-huh.
And they also had a sense of... Like, the Disney prestige still seeped into them a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to bring out their big guns, but they're still going to get actors like Debbie Reynolds to show up.
This is like that Disney formula where opposite of Nickelodeon, where Nickelodeon was like, oh, this is a channel for kids, by kids. Disney was doing the exact opposite, where they were like, we believe every member of the family is sitting down to watch these films. So there's got to be something for grandma.
Right.
So enter Debbie Reynolds.
So we're going to get, like, few... popular actors. It's going to be a 4-quadrant hit. It's going to have a little something for everyone. It definitely is, like we said, where the tropes kind of start. It stars a young adult kid, slightly older than the rest. There's always a super science kid. Usually they have one or two siblings. One of them is always, like, a tech kid who's like, no, my formula.
Yeah.
Who's snobby and kind of above it all. There's usually a younger kid.
A younger sibling that they have to drag along, and they resent the hell out of that.
Yes, who's like the starry-eyed one, who's like the shucks one.
Who actually knew the lesson all along, and everyone was like, oh.
You had the power all along.
All along, yeah.
Why didn't we listen? You're so wise beyond your years.
Yes, even though you're 8.
Yes. Honestly, I think a lot of these tropes and stuff come just from television in general, because I'm realizing we're just describing bits and pieces of Family Matters and Full House.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess that's why you couldn't put these in theaters, because they're so TV in their...
They are TV
inspiration. Yeah. It's also one of the most 90s movies on the planet in terms of just tone and sense of humor, being a little snappy and sassy. The color palette's kind of like
drab. But fab.
Yeah, like the sets are decadent
orange,
and over designed.
Yeah.
But the palette, it feels like everything's kind of in a brownish filter.
Yeah.
If you don't know Halloween Town, basically, kids find out their grandma's a witch, and all the monsters that we read about in books live in a alternate universe called Halloween Town.
And yes, they have politics and hierarchy and everything.
They have political intrigue.
Yes, they have infrastructure. They have
racists who want to destroy the human world.
Exactly, yes. They have cab drivers.
Yes,
who
skeleton
are pretty much the
drivers,
same as our cab drivers.
Talk with a New York accent.
Yeah.
And make puns about jokes. Being dead.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, shall we move on?
Like we said, still charming, awesome costume designs, really good practical makeup, and one of these ones where I'm like, you could probably put this in theaters, and people would still like it.
Yeah.
And this is where things blow up, because Halloween Town is such a big hit, we just start getting 100 of these damn things.
Yeah.
Xenon.
1999. Xenon, girl of the 21st century. This was so cool. This was like real teen life on Earth, but just, they were like, make it metallic.
I do love, put a gun to my head, I could not tell you any plot beats other than like, oh, she has to go back to Earth at some point. For some reason, these ones passed me by, but I do love the aesthetic of, this is the 80s and 90s vision of what the year 2040 is going to be. It's neon, everything's metal, everything's kind of analog, everything's boxy, all the ships are boxy.
You ever see, like, those hand-drawn photos, what they thought the future would be, like, from the 1940s?
Yes.
And they're just, like, still these huge-ass cars, but just flying?
Yes. They imagine these incredible, like, silvery buildings and sharp things, but they can't imagine shapes other than a box.
No, exactly.
Everything is centered on the box.
Is a box, yeah.
What is the plot? Oh, they're gonna crash the space station?
It's just high school, middle school romping with Raven Simone and, like, some blonde girl. I could not for the life of you tell you her name, but she's in a bunch. Storms. Kirsten Storms. Yeah, that sounds really familiar to me.
It's interesting you're looking at, like, the list of some of these names, and I think one of the big differences between now and then is, back then, there was still the Disney Star pipeline, but it didn't feel as obvious.
Yeah,
now everything feels like a vehicle.
No, you're correct.
Where it's like, we have 3 or 4 kids we want to train to be stars.
Right.
Whereas in this one, you just have Raven Simone, but she's not even the star. She's the support character.
Right, yeah.
Like, this isn't even like High School Musical where you had Zac Efron in the lead, and it's like, this is the golden boy. This is going to be it.
Right.
There's almost always school stuff.
There's, like, school stuff.
There's always a bully.
My parents don't understand. Yeah. But, we like this one boy band.
Yes.
And the boy band was the most important part, which everyone remembers to this day. And the song that he sang, Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. You remember that song?
And most of them a lot of them tried to have original songs.
Yeah, like, they did. They wrote music for these.
Yes. Which, again, this goes...
And made a record label just devoted to...
which is insane.
To these movies' soundtracks.
Which, I mean, there's that famous diagram Disney made where he listed out, like, all the different factions of Disney. The films, the parks, the music, the animation, the live action, the merch. And just showed all of the different, like, strings that connect them. The Disney Channel movies are some of the most blatant and blunt examples of that in terms of, like, these stars, these songs, the Disney Channel, where we're also going to show the movies, and we're going to promote the new movies. You just really see it all laid to bear on television. Can of Worms, don't remember.
No. 13th Year was my jam.
That one is another one we put on a lot around my house just for fun.
Yeah, because why? Like, this boy
it's insane.
Is adopted or something. Yes. Well, not really adopted. They find him washed at sea because this mermaid lady
had to leave
gives up her baby. Yeah.
Because she's about to get scooped up by a fisherman.
Yes. And
I will say, we're ragging on these for being kind of tropey, but at the same time...
No, these are great movies.
Yeah, like, there's still the archetypes of, like, the snobby bully and the geek kid and, like, bad guys and parents who don't quite relate and are kind of stiff.
Yeah.
But also, the initial hook for a lot of these is freaking nuts.
Yeah, because essentially this is just like Puberty the Musical, but like make it mermaid.
Yeah, kid turns 13 and discovers he's a mermaid.
And grows scales. Yeah.
Grows scales.
And he's supposed to be like a swimmer isn't he like a swimmer on the team?
And it turns out he's so good at swimming because he has mermaid blood.
Because he's a mermaid, yeah.
Typical. He grows flippers. The ending of this always haunted me because the idea that he would just leave everything he knew, his entire life, like his girlfriend, his friends, his parents who have been raising him, one of which is Dave Coulier.
Yeah, isn't that something?
It's just the most phoned-in performance I've ever seen from him, which is saying a lot. He would give up all that to go live in the ocean. Something about that felt like a horror premise.
Kind of, yeah.
There's a movie coming out called The Lighthouse, which is just 18th century lighthouse guys dealing with all these haunted mermaids and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, mermaids are scary. And this is why.
Yeah.
This is why. because this kid's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to lie about this.
Yeah.
And cover up for the
How
fact
do you
that their
explain
son
this
is
to the
gone.
government? Yeah.
Their son is just
There's
gone.
a social security number for this child.
An Amber.
You know what I mean?
They're going to put out an Amber Alert for him.
Eventually,
his parents are going to get arrested.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Smart House. Smart House. We're really getting into, like, the real big year for us.
Yeah.
Smart House is another one that I think is genuinely good.
Smart House was like... Smart House is now real life. Like, we live in real life Smart House. We have our own smart houses now.
I will say, this is the closest...
With voices and everything.
I didn't think about this, but this really is the closest we've gotten to, like, realizing what the future would be, because it's not shimmering or shiny. It's the same things we have, but with artificial intelligence.
Interacting with us. Yeah.
Our houses look exactly the same, but we have built-in computers that can change the temperature and stuff.
And it's like, the thing, like, you think this didn't work for them, you know what I mean? But, like, we haven't really learned our lesson.
Yeah. We haven't added the creepy CGI tentacles yet.
Oh, that's true. And we haven't built, like, a hologram.
Yeah.
Of,
like
what's
solid
her name?
light things.
Yeah.
Pam. Yeah.
Right.
This is actually based off a book where the book is much darker. The kids become obsessed with the smart house. The idea is this is a house with a supercomputer in it that is like an AI computer.
Alexa.
Yeah. An Alexa who can take care of you and make food.
But needy also. She's a mommy Alexa who, like, just wants to spend time with you and wants you to love her.
Yeah. The main son who gets them this house, he wants this because he doesn't want to get a new mom, because he's like, we're happy as a family.
Yeah.
And the computer reads off this and becomes codependent and tries to become a mom. But the book, the kids become super obsessed, and the holograms become real, and they feed the parents to a lion.
Ah, interesting.
So, which I love. They allude to in this movie. At one point, they have a Sahara hologram, and I'm like, oh, that's a cute reference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, early CGI that doesn't hold up. Yeah, this one gets really bleak as this robot learns it can never quite be human.
Yeah, no.
Incapable of giving these children what they need. Yeah,
these children, yeah.
Can't mom. 0 out of 10, no mom.
No mom.
And then after, like, putting the entire family in hostage, they all kind of forget about it and move on, and they still live in the house. But, yeah, this one gets bleak, and I think it holds up very well.
What is her name? Go back to...
Who is Pam?
I know her. I want to say, like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Or Pat, not Pam. Catherine Louise Segal.
Oh, no,
she's a Seagal?
That's not who I had in my brain.
She's Leah in Futurama.
Peggy Bunn, yeah. Yeah, she's known for playing Peggy Bunn. That is who I... Married with Children.
Yeah,
that is who I thought that was.
They get, like, people...
Real people, yeah.
Even if they're not the base stars, you go, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
A lot of people tend to rank that one number one. Johnny Tsunami.
Johnny Tsunami. These ones were cool. This was just rad fun.
Yeah. This is when we worked in a lot of rad
They were
stuff.
like, we need a person of color.
Yeah. We're like, man, these can't all be white, can they?
Yeah.
All right, what can we do?
The 90s was good at people of color. Like, I don't know what happened, but, like, the 90s was especially good at the very least, exploiting people of color.
Like, yeah, it did. I was going to say, it felt more like you imagine a boardroom meeting where they're like, we need to appeal to this market.
Like, they spend an entire year just doing black people shows. You know what I mean? And this was across the board of entertainment in general, especially children's entertainment. It was like, there was a part where they were just, like, really forcing R&B. Like, do you remember Kenan and Kel?
Yeah.
And Coolio.
That was the biggest kid show on the planet.
Coolio sang their theme song.
Yeah. They got Coolio to appear in their movie.
TLC sang the All That theme song. And then, like, I don't know if you remember Maya and, like, Blackstreet. They were, like, pop...
I remember Blackstreet.
Yeah, they sang a song for the Rugrats movie.
What?
And they had, like, a whole music video and everything for that. Like, but there was, like... You know, like, with TV, there was, like, Sister on Disney Channel now, and then early 2000s we get, like, The Proud Family. Like, they really dove at a certain point.
See, this is where I think your Nickelback effect comes into play. Because I think it's, like, the 90s, we beat the Russians, Cold War's over, everyone declares it, like, the end of history, so then we're all like, well, why don't we all just get along? Let's, like...
You know,
let's
I think...
not think about any bad things that happened in the past and just be happy.
Right.
And then 9/11 happens, and it creates a sense of we have to be very rigid and keep everything in line and not think anything subversive. And that means white again.
Yes. And I think towards the, in the 90s and the end of the 90s, is when really discovered that, like, black people are funny. So this is where you have Fresh Prince and Martin and the Wayans brothers and everything. Like, people are like, black people are really funny. Let's make a show about twins. We get these two adorable mixed-race girls and have Tim Reed and Jack Gay be their parents. And then that'll be funny for parents. Like I said, they believe that everyone is watching. So they're like, oh, people used to watch 227 and, like, old shows, no Tim Reed and Jack A. So, like, let's just, like, put them in a show and get these two adorable twin girls that are kind of brown and make a TV show about it.
I love how we're having this interesting discussion about race intersecting with media for Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah,
which we haven't even explained the
start of it.
plot.
No, yeah, Johnny Tsunami. Do we need to?
No, I mean, I think the name speaks for itself.
Yes.
Just imagine a surfboard trope and work that in. In this case, he goes to a place that doesn't have water. It has ice. He goes to Vermont.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like 3 plots you can do in a surfing movie, and that's one of them.
Change the element.
Yeah, change
slightly,
whatever element is around.
It just make the water frozen.
That will decide what board he has now. Is it a skateboard or a snowboard? Genius, I don't remember that one.
No.
What is even... I kind of remember the poster. They all got their own posters, which is weird.
Oh yeah, these were campaigned, like...
Yeah, they were promoted like they were regular movies. And they're the most 90s posters of, like, you know, kids looking at the camera smirking.
Yeah, like the Mary-Kate and Ashley, all that stuff. Those style posters.
Don't Look Under the Bed.
I recognize that title, but, like, really have no
I don't recognize
emotional
this poster at all.
attachment to that.
Moving on, Horse Sense.
Oh, God.
Horse Sense. I don't remember this one.
No, I don't.
Again,
but, like,
another just
why?
great kids poster.
Yeah, they were so serious, too.
It stars brothers Joey and Andrew Lawrence. Heiress.
Wow, the Lawrence brothers. I know them.
Really?
Joey, you know Joey Lawrence?
I don't
know. They were like little teen heartthrob dudes.
Okay, so that was definitely a vehicle then.
Oh, here we go. Here's a home run.
Up and away.
A budget of like exactly $100,000.
Oh my God, this is nuts. I literally was thinking of a scene from this where Up and Away is Incredibles, but they're black. Basically, so like if Frozone got his own show, basically, and he also had superpowered kids, and his wife was superpowered.
Yes.
So not quite like Frozone at all. Just again, superhero family drama. They were like,
superheroes make it metallic.
Yes,
and like
very
put
metallic.
it in suburbia. I feel like this was like one of the cheapest looking films. Like, wasn't it tacky? Like, wasn't it just tacky?
But that's also true about the entire superhero genre at this point.
Yeah.
Because they've decided they want superhero stuff. That superheroes are marketable, but we don't have the budgets to really realize them. This is also around the same time Steel came out, which had Shaquille O'Neal in, like, this crappy RoboCop costume and, like, a weird cutout metal thing.
Poor Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, poor...
Well, like, this is that superhero film with Sherman Hemsley, like, of all people.
Yes.
Jeez, but, like, a bunch of other, like, recognizable black actors.
But I remembered a specific scene from this where the older brother has, like, electricity tech powers, and he's trying to read a computer for some reason, and he can't do it, and the dad is like, ugh.
You're disappointing
us.
And
I couldn't remember what it was called. Basically the premise is the youngest son of this superhero family doesn't have powers, and basically...
And everybody else does, yeah.
The rest of the family does. So he creates all of these, like, pranks and stuff to create the illusion of having powers. Like, he messes with the screws on his door to make it look like he rips it off.
Yeah.
At one point, his dad tries to take him flying, and he falls out of the sky. Again, another charming one. I actually kind of like this one. It's another one that's charming, even though the budget is...
Even though it looks ugly.
2 pennies and a quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
And it very much is in that 90s aesthetic of things being ugly, because ugly is cool.
Boxy, metallic-y, gross. Yeah.
Apparently the Green Hornet was in it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, another charming, set the stage for Sky High. The Color of Friendship.
The Color of Friendship. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Look beyond black and white, and you'll find
movie?
The Color of Friendship. I remember the title.
Yo,
I don't remember the plot.
This movie was banging. Okay, so this black family, right, in the United States, they're getting an exchange student from South Africa.
Right.
But, like, Marnie, I think her name was, like, the main character, she, like, doesn't realize that there are hella white people in South Africa. In fact, it's, like, mostly white people in South Africa. So she was like...
For a lot of complicated social reasons.
She's so excited about, like, getting, like, an authentic African person. I can relate to that. Because being African-American, you have, like, absolutely no African identity, really. Like, it's all been stripped from you. So it's, like, I can imagine in the 90s this is super exciting, but, like, she's really kind of vaguely aware of apartheid. I mean, she's aware of apartheid.
This movie's about apartheid? Oh my god.
Oh yeah. This is like prime apartheid time right now. She's just not thinking that she's gonna get a white person, much less like a really, really rich white person that is like whose relationship to black people is like that they are pretty much servants, and that's exactly how she treats them when she gets to their house. So like they pick her up,
God, this is nuts.
And they're like, yeah, no, but it's like my favorite movie ever. But pretty much they become best friends. I mean, it's one of those like, oh, we're different, but we're best friends. This white girl pretty much learns more about blackness in America than she does in the United States, because I mean she gets there and she treats like the mom like she's like her personal chef. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like this is like one of the most authentic examples of like actual racism. I mean, because like the movie starts with her, the white girl, like in her affluent house. Like she lives in this huge house. Her father is some kind of like politician or something. They're very rich. And it's like all of the black people are like the driver, the cook, like she has like a butler. Like, she is surrounded by black people, and they all work for them. They all work for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she has no frame of, like, of real, like, blackness. She does not genuinely see black people as, like, normal people or like... And that, like, is really, like, it's a really, really raw, rough, like, story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of transition. But it's one of my favorite movies of all time because I feel like it's, like, kind of the last of its kind as far as, like, this type of message.
Yeah, especially for Disney, because this was a point when the Disney Channel movies, they have the silly ones that we talked about and all the tropes there, but they also had the ones that were the serious ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was an earnestness in that we don't have anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least for the Disney Channel movies.
Right. So, yeah, I love Color of Friendship. One of my favorites.
Alley Cat's...
Is this about a sport?
Bowling and basketball, apparently.
Nope, that's not what I was thinking, but okay.
I have nothing sophisticated to say.
I have absolutely no reference for that. No, not one at all.
Rip Girls.
What's that supposed to
surfing.
mean? Oh, here we go.
It's
again.
Always surfing. It's never a normal sport. It's never basketball.
No,
it's never.
It's
rarely. Not until later.
If it is, there's like a weird perverted twist
Yeah,
on it.
it's always a magical real twist or it's a musical.
Yeah, there is no just normal.
Miracle in Lane 2. No, they didn't do 2 bowling movies in 1 year.
Is that Frankie Muniz?
Frankie Muniz in originally called Wheelies.
He looks
so
like
it's
a
about,
baby.
It's about like what's it called? Soapbox racing.
Mm-mm.
He's in a wheelchair. Oh my god.
Stepsister from Planet
This is
Weird.
what I mean though. It feels like with so many of these, there's like a checklist of we have all of these tropes and ideas.
Yes.
We want them together even if they don't necessarily go together. We want to do something with soapboxing because no one's done that yet.
True, yeah.
We want a kid in a wheelchair. Yeah, it's never a normal sport. It always has to be something weird because that adds to like the goofiness of like, whoa, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. We have to learn a lesson.
Yeah, we have to learn how this relates to our personal drama. Stepsister from Planet Weird.
No.
Workaholic father. Windsurfing. Windsurfing mothers are divorced. Come on. Even the support characters can't do normal ass sports.
No.
I probably just blew up the mic. I'm honking out.
Oh my gosh.
All right, ready to run.
About a horse next.
Come on. It has the word run in it. Horses don't run, they gallop.
Hey.
Quince.
Yo, okay, Quince is original.
Okay. What is give me the pitch.
You don't remember Quince?
I don't remember this one.
Yo, Quince was like one of the best movies ever. This girl, right? She's like 14 years old. She's an only child. She's like not spoiled, I don't call her spoiled, but she's just living this happy life.
Well, like
she's
when
got
you're
these like quirky, authentic parents.
When you're
and,
the center of your parents' attention, it's natural to get a little like...
Well, I mean, yeah, but like she's not like a brat or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like she's an only
You
child.
don't have to be a brat about it. It's just like you're used to being
she's like enjoying
the center.
her life, being like the center of her parents' world. She's like an artist. Her parents are like, oh, she lives in this like nice, quaint little house in the suburbs or whatever.
They're never in the city. They're always suburbs. No one ever lives in a city in these.
No, not until Cheetah Girls. They're the only ones that live in the city. Anyway, so then her parents become pregnant with quintuplets.
That's the premise of the movie?
That's the premise of the movie. And so she, goes from being the center of, her own life or whatever to, all of her parents' energy and attention being devoted to 5 infants that are now in her life. It also draws the attention of, the local news. And, her parents become, local celebrities almost because they gave birth to 5 babies. And that was, revolutionary. Die. And she survives to tell about it. Yeah. And so it's her siblings get an agent and they do all of they get a brand deal from this Pampers company. And it's her 5 infant siblings are celebrities, and now she's to the wayside, and her parents almost miss her art show.
And this is within a year of The Color of Friendship, which is a normal grounded story. I love that there's no middle ground with Disney Channel movies. No. There's never a normal situation with a little bit of zaniness. It's either we're going to tell a grounded story with an interesting premise, or we are going to go into fantasy Disney World where there's agents trying to get babies, and there's and the local news is involved, and everyone's going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something.
The premise of the quintuplets, I'm that's silly, but all right. But then when you talk about the agent,
you really should watch this movie. It's one of the best ones. Quince is
I kind of love the poster because of how early 2000s it is.
Oh,
it's just this girl being circled by all these babies and with her arms up it's a living.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. We're rolling.
The other me. Don't recognize it at all.
Mom's got a date with a vampire.
Oh yes, with what's her name?
What
is her name? She's in everything.
She was in Sabrina the Teenage... She was Hilda on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, she's the mom from Phineas and Ferb. She's still on Disney Channel to this day. She's a really well-known actress.
This is another fun one. For some reason, when they do... I love anytime they do something vaguely horror-related.
Goosebumpsy, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when the lack of a budget makes it kitschy and cute, as opposed to, eye-rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Because the idea is... They want to go to some Halloween bash, but they need the mom out of the house. So they set her up with an online date. This is the 2000s understanding of how the internet works. And instead of getting a creep, they get a vampire.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, Van Helsing, or I guess an ancestor of Van Helsing, is on the hunt. I love this one because of the vampire gets so frustrated with this entire scenario because he thinks he's going to walk in, steal this woman away, and be done with it. And that the kids keep going nuh-uh, we're going to stop you. How about we do this? And how about we do this? I think at one point he literally goes, what is happening? I am a vampire. You are children. He gets frustrated at this cat and mouse game they're playing because he can literally go through walls and turn into a bat and bite someone to death. And hypnotize people.
I remember not being very interested in this movie.
It has a goofy charm that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how it just becomes this comedy of manners where this guy's trying not to lose his cool and be a suave vampire around 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Phantom of the Megaplex. I remember this, but again, was not interested.
I remember it only because I have encyclopedia knowledge of every Phantom ripoff.
Okay.
Which I find is funny. I remember there's a tech kid in here. There's always, the tech kid
That's the rule, yeah.
Yeah, they have, 3 or 4 palette swaps for the siblings that they just rotate. One of them is always, one of the kids knows tech, and it's gonna be useful.
And can, type real fast.
Yeah.
But not do it. Type real fast and, make things happen somehow. Yeah. That's not how typing even works.
That's not how hacking works.
That's
hacking
not how computers work.
Going into ones and zeros and, changing a 1 that causes things to happen.
No, but they're always just typing frantically.
Yeah. I love movies. Even now, movies' depiction of hacking is so goofy.
Yeah.
That's not a Disney Channel thing. That's just reality.
Criminal Minds. I feel like Criminal Minds, she's always
that's
that
always
one
the best.
Always
oh, I gotta get through the firewall.
I can do this. Yeah.
And I'm
can't get through.
And it's a chicken or egg thing because I'm did Disney Channel movies and kids movies start this, or did it start from regular movies and seep down?
The Ultimate Christmas Present. This was a dumb movie, but it was entertaining kind of with Brenda Song. I feel like this is one of Brenda Song's first ever films.
I love the depiction of Santa in this. Again, charming.
It's a charming movie
fun.
about But, like, the plot's kind of stupid, but...
Yeah, Santa has a weather machine for some reason, and they steal it.
Yeah, and they steal it because they want to make it snow in Los Angeles on Christmas, but whatever.
And it plunges them into eternal winter.
Yeah.
And then...
We've seen this story.
Decades from now, someone who's trying to make Frozen work goes, oh, I've got it.
References this movie.
Yes. Xenon, the sequel. Okay, that's kind of a cute name. I know nothing about the Xenons.
There's nothing that cool to talk about. I mean, yeah, they were all great movies, but, like, we already talked about Xenon. This is just the sequel.
It does feel like a franchise where if you talk about what you like about one, you kind of covered it.
No, they're all the same, yeah.
Motocross.
Cross-dressing.
Motocross. Oh, this is that thing.
Where she cuts her hair and now she's a dude.
Yeah.
So she can participate in motorsports.
Yeah. Like, that's the only thing I change about me. I don't put on, like, a chest bind or, like...
I don't need one.
Or it's gotta be... Or put on makeup that changes my jawline. It's gotta be the hair.
We're just gonna get a pixie cut and put gel in it and spike it up, and I'm automatically a bro.
Wait. The movie is loose adaptation of William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. I beg your pardon?
Can they stop?
That feels like a stretch.
Don't even do
that. That feels like a stretch. Yes, there's cross-dressing, but there's cross-dressing in every other Shakespeare. All of his comedies have someone cross-dressing.
Yeah.
That's not special.
That's part of it. That's what he does.
And now our family has 1,000 years of curses because your daughter decided to be a cross-dresser. The best line from Mulan.
Uh-huh.
Luck of the Irish.
Oh,
This is what we meant. It's basketball, but he discovers that he's the descendant of leprechauns.
So there you go. Is there anything really to say about this?
He gets a coin stolen, and this one feels like bullying toward Irish people. Because at the end, the whole thing is like he needs to do a report on his culture, and his parents don't really talk about their culture a lot. They say it's because back in the 20s, Irish people were bullied when they were immigrating, which I'm like, yeah, but it's a very different landscape.
Yeah. This is one of those. This is an extension of there was white people were enslaved too. This is like when people are like, the Irish were enslaved.
Yeah.
But no one ever appreciates anyone bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because who cares?
If anyone brings that up, that's your immediate like you
Get
don't.
Out of here.
Yeah, they're canceled.
Yeah.
You don't even need to hear any other thing they say.
You're like, all right, I got you.
I know the kind of person you are, and I don't want to be associated with that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, like, it makes Irish culture seem so gross because it's like, oh, we all talk like this. That's not it at all.
Yeah, like the Lucky Charms dude.
Yeah,
like
sounds like the Lucky Charms dude.
Yeah.
They develop red hair.
Yep.
They can't not perform music or be twee. It makes the food look disgusting. Even though I'm like, I don't know, I like sausage.
All right,
but then at the end it's like, isn't this great?
Yeah.
I do like, again, another one that I'm like, it's kind of just ridiculous, so can't help. You can't help but love it.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. Hounded, I have no reference for.
A missing dog?
Yeah, no. I have absolutely no reference.
That's weird.
Goodness, how long are we going to do this? We're only on 2001.
Oh, God. We're in too deep.
Accelerate this. Yeah. Let's just go yay
Jet
or
Jackson.
nay.
Don't know what that is.
My mom is always bringing this up. She remembers this. I do not.
Okay.
Jumping ship.
Jumping ship.
Oh, we don't need these white boys.
Yeah, no. We get a Halloween 2, but again, you seen the one, you seen them all. 'Twas the Night. This has Bryan Cranston in it, which is kind of weird. Again, they still get kind of like popular names. And granted, this isn't when he was like when he was like one of the biggest actors on the planet. But yeah, I do kind of love how just crappy he is in this movie because he's like a con man, and I'm like, see, this is what I want to see from my Bryan Cranston. Not screaming. I want sleaze. Damn it.
Oh wait, 2002. Here we go. Wait, these are some good ones in here. Double Team. Which we agree sounds like a porn.
A terrible mistake.
But this is about those twin girls that are like on a basketball team, even though they weren't twins in real life.
Really?
They were just kind of doppelgangers, yeah. Which is creepy. That's a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, but they were not twins. They were not related. They just found two girls that have the same face and were tall and huge, and they were like, great, you guys are going to play twin girls on a basketball team.
Weird.
Yeah. Like we said, a normal sport, but a really bizarre twist.
Cadet Kelly. See, this is the age when it starts to lose me a little bit.
What?
Well, no, I'm still in it, but like I don't remember these ones as much.
Maybe because it was like a girl film, and you're like, girls.
Probably
no,
a little
Cadet
bit.
Kelly, man, Hilary Duff, and what was her name? Christy Carlson Romano.
This is also when I do feel like they start, like, trying to make the Disney Channel star on television a thing.
Yes.
More than before.
This was, like, peak Lizzie McGuire time, and they're like, give that
we need
girl
to give
a
her
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of giving her a movie
yeah.
where it was, like, TV to film, it's TV to TV movie.
Even Stevens, too. Yeah, both of their shows were, like, really popular, so they were like, this is going to be great. And Cadet Kelly is just, like, classic. Like, we love Cadet Kelly. It was a good
Power.
one. Girl Power. It was a good one, okay?
True Confessions, I don't remember. Get a Clue.
Yes, Get a Clue. Wasn't that Lindsay Lohan?
Oh, yeah.
Early days of Lindsay Lohan.
This is close to when The Parent Trap was. That makes sense.
Yeah. Gotta Kick It Up. Si Se Puede. This was, like, one of the most important movies ever. Yo, this movie shaped a generation. Do you know Gotta Kick It Up?
No. Explain.
Another obscure sport. It's the pom dance team. Do you know, like, pom dancing?
Kind of.
Or it's, like, a mix between cheerleading and dance, and it's, like, they use pom-poms, and they're, like, it's a story of, like, white saviorness, where, like, this white lady goes to a Hispanic high school and, like, saves their dance team.
Oh, no.
And trains them, teaches them morals, and they're, like, she's like, come on, guys, don't be ghetto. Like, be better so that we can win this trophy.
See, you're saying it's a big deal, but the way you're describing it sounds
bad. That's the
bad.
trope of the movie. She's like, don't be ghetto and don't be anything. Just, like, learn morals and be nice to each other and don't be bitchy. And that was the theme of the movie. But, like, they have this chant where they say, like, yes, we can in Spanish, si se puede. And it's just, like, it's a feel-good movie.
Do you think Obama took the...
Yes. Si se puede. Yes, he did.
He saw this when he was running for, like, senator of Illinois.
And he was like, oh, that's genius.
Yeah,
You're right,
I gotta remember this. I'm gonna put this aside for later.
If you ever find a video of this movie, like, it's just it's a feel-good one. And I think it's one of the most important ones. But, yeah, it's a white savior movie.
The Ring of Endless Night. What the hell is that name?
Oh, my God. Is that a beluga? Or no, I guess that's a dolphin. I don't want anything to do with this.
Nope. Wait, they made a theatrical film? Wait. Oh, this is the same person who wrote Wrinkle in Time. Okay. Scream Team.
This is a Scream Team. Not really.
I don't remember that.
Oh, You Wish. Yeah. Yeah, I know this one.
You Wish. He wishes for his brother to go away, and it's the annoying
Spencer
kid
Breslin.
from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, no, I empathize with your decision. And I love this one because he just can't wrap his head around the idea that he wished for his brother to be gone. Like, it takes him, like, an hour to really grapple with that.
Dude, you literally just said
There's this whole Who's on First bit where he's like, where's Steve? Which is the kid's... His brother ends up becoming a TV star because he wasn't born into that family. It's like, where's Stevie? On the TV. That's what I mean. What do you mean? Where's Steve? And they do that for 2 whole minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Yeah, but I remember it. I remember pretty well.
I think deserves a medal because there's so many of these things. If you remember
if
that
sticks
means...
out in your brain, it merely means something.
That deserves credit.
Right on track. Girls racing.
Again, racing. Why? Just play soccer or baseball.
No,
or
they can't.
God, even cricket. At least cricket's well known in a lot of countries.
No, they can't. Okay. Even Stevens, we need a minute for this one.
Okay. Yeah, this episode's going to be a little long. I'm okay with that because, to be fair, we're covering a lot of ground.
Yes. The Even Stevens movie, let me talk about this movie really fast.
This is the first time I think they turned one of their TV shows into a movie.
Into a film, yeah, I think so too. This is, like, a genuinely hilarious movie. I still watch this to this day and, like, crack up laughing at some of these jokes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was just a lot of physical humor, like, a lot of just... I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I feel like it touches all of, like, the comedy points. Like, it was just really genuine Shia LaBeouf romping before he turned to the dark side. Yeah, before he was killed by his evil clone and replaced.
LaBeouf Shy.
Yeah, LaBeouf Shy.
I was trying to say it backwards, and I'm like, nope, too many letters.
Yes. But, like, it's a funny movie. And it's like and it kind of bites off of, like, what was kind of really relevant at the time. Survival TV shows were, like, real
That's also
popular.
another thing about the Disney Channel movies that I think is worth referencing. They really do chase trends. Mm-hmm. Like, if something's popular in 2002, they're going to have something about it in 2003.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right.
And, like, I think this movie, what makes this really, really successful is that, like, it actually acknowledges its own issues, and it's like, why does Lewis have to annoy his sister so much? Like, it really, like, this series of Even Stevens, like, digs deep into, like, the, sibling rivalry thing, but then, like, she kills him.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't really kill him,
I feel like we
like...
need to quickly explain the premise. If you don't remember, this has almost very little to do with the main plot of the show. It's not like a high school drama thing or, like, a family drama thing like the show.
No.
They get invited to a reality, or, like, a fantasy island, like a dream vacation.
Right.
The island, like, the hotel they're in collapses, and they're forced to forage in the wilderness, only for us to find out that all of this is a part of a TV show.
On a TV show. They don't know they're on a show.
Yeah, called Family Fake
where,
Out.
like, all of the weather and everybody's an actor. All of the natives are all actors and everything.
That's probably the most people of color ever cast in anything. So
yeah,
good for
pretty
that.
Much,
so
right,
good for this fake reality show.
Mm-hmm.
They slowly start going crazy because they think they're about to die.
And then the producer of the show gets punked. So it's like
reality
show, the sequel. Like, you know what I mean?
At some point, they find out. And I love, this is kind of like the ending of Seinfeld, where the ending of Seinfeld is they get arrested, and every person they've ever wronged comes, like, as a character witness, and it's like, you suck!
Yeah.
I hate you! And they end the episode in jail. This feels similar, where they get put on this reality show, and everyone's dunking on them. They're like, this is so funny to see these jerks get punished and put through the ringer.
They deserve it, yeah.
And at some point, they find out it's a reality show, but not before the female lead goes a little crazy from abuse and decides she's going to spear Shia LaBeouf through the chest and kill him.
Yeah.
And then when she finally goes through with it, it turns out she was in on the plan, and it turns out to be, I believe they just call it Gotcha.
Yeah, with starring, what's his name?
Dave Coulier?
Yes.
He was in this, oh my god, I forgot. But
just to do the Gotcha.
I do love the guy who runs this Family Fake Out show. When he sees Shia LaBeouf die, he has a complete mental breakdown because he's like,
that's one of my favorite jokes of this
it's so
movie.
Good, and he's
and
in
it's
shock.
Not even like it's not even a joke, but I think it's the funniest part of this movie, where he's like, she's not really gonna hurt him, and then it just cuts to her, she's like, I'm gonna hurt you, Louis. Like, I just find that the funniest joke I've ever heard.
He's like, this is fine, we have control.
Like, she's not gonna
and then
hurt him.
Immediately
like,
he collapses, bursts into tears. No one was supposed to get hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And even after the Gotcha is revealed, he's just in shock. Like, I'm convinced he goes comatose for the rest of his life because he can't mentally process what he just went through. Yeah, this one is like a big bounce off of a lot of fun ideas. I really like that one. 2003 is another real, like, banner year. Yeah. We get Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Well, that is good fun.
Yeah, that one's fun. It has this trope I hate of, like,
Orlando Brown.
The dad doesn't understand, like, what the kid wants to do. He wants to cook, but he's good at baseball.
Again, a normal sport, but with, like,
we
don't even want to play that sport.
Yeah,
we hate that sport.
Yeah, I hate this. I'm good at cooking. I've learned how to cook. It drives me insane that he doesn't win the competition at the end. They do have, I believe they got Bobby Flay as himself. This is like a nice celebrity cameo. There's a couple weird ones in here. This has one of my favorite jokes because he's like, come on, you hit like a girl. And the one girl on the team goes, all right, I have enough. I have the highest batting average on this team. And normally you roll your eyes at a joke like that, but then the coach goes like, all right, does anyone else have any complaints? And like 2 or 3 kids raise their hands and just have like a minor thing. It's like, all right, noted. And I just think that's funny. Cheetah Girls.
Yo.
This one,
Monument. This is, what were the Hiroshima bombs names?
The Fat Man and Little Boy.
And Little Boy, yeah.
Or Little Man and Fat Boy, I don't remember.
This is the
I
Little
tried not
Boy.
to remember nuclear annihilation.
No?
It makes me stressed.
I feel like this is the Little Boy in High School Musical was like the Fat Man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but this one, did a number on Disney Channel. I feel like this changed marketing. This forced them into, like, take a different term as far as marketing, and, like, wow. First of all, here's what my favorite part about this is, like, this is, like, actual, true, authentic diversity. Like, all right, we've got Black people, we've got a Hispanic, we got a Latina, and a white girl, and then it's, like, they all live in New York City, which is pretty much neutral ground, where, like, it's possible for, like, people of different backgrounds and, like, different economic standings to all pretty much live within, like, 5 blocks of each other.
To be in the same neighborhood, yeah.
To be in the same neighborhood, go to the same school, and, like, be friends. And it's, like, that's what we see. We see, like, poor, and then we see like really rich, and then we see like somewhere in the middle people like of obviously different ethnicities, but like just from like completely different stories and backgrounds that are like all really talented and also like best friends and like genuinely love each other and support each other. This is amazing. And did you know that Whitney Houston produced this?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Isn't that something?
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I guess that kind of explains a part of why this became such a huge deal. A huge chunk of Disney Channel just became the Cheetah Girls, it felt like.
Yeah.
They had to just take time out of their schedule for the Cheetah Girls.
Mm-hmm.
It got nominated for a DGA award for Outstanding Achievement in Children's Programming. It was so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one just... It's one of those, like, 3 or 4 of these watershed moments where it redefines what Disney Channel movies are, what the Disney Channel is, how they approach their creations, and...
Looking further down on this list, I feel like this may have been the start of, like, oh, kids like pop stars.
Yes.
Let's make more pop star movies.
Yes. This is definitely one of the ones that I
do.
feel like shapes what comes next.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see.
Full Court Miracle! Oh my god!
I convinced myself this one didn't exist.
This is Reverse White Savior.
Yes. This is Reverse White Savior.
This is Black Savior in Jewish Neighborhood, which is like, I didn't know that was even a category, but it is.
We got it.
We got it. You think of it, we got it.
This one is insane because there's these set pieces where they're imagining famous battles that the Jewish people were involved in, but they're like
crazy.
in armor against Roman centurions.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. Oh, this was a good one. I used to like this movie. Like, I remember watching it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Pixel
Perfect.
Perfect. Another pop star one.
Another pop star, Ricky Ullman, was in it. This was one of my... I was saying to Carter, like, this was the movie that made me, like, want to learn an instrument, actually. So, like, if Disney Channel has accomplished anything, it inspires the arts, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like Disney Channel as a whole was, like, really inspiring individuality. I feel like that has disappeared because you remember those Disney Channel commercials that would happen like in between highlighting a sport,
right?
Or like there was a whole Disney Channel segment like a mini series about like kids who collected odd items.
Oh, I remember that.
Like, there was one kid who collected Pez dispensers. There was one girl who collected snow globes. And then they would highlight these like really unique sports. Like I remember there's one like about diving, like you know, like high dive, or I don't know what that's called when you dive into a pool, but
just
like
diving.
Yeah, just diving, I guess. I feel like for children at this age, like in this year, this really helps cultivate like individual like hobbies. Yeah, I feel like there's not an emphasis on hobbies anymore and sports and like know what I mean, because everything's just like Fortnite, do that.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
That's kind of true. Like, we don't... maybe it's just there's too much stuff now.
I don't think so.
And so much of it's digital.
Do you remember, like, how desperate they were to make us go outside and play?
That was a watershed thing for kids' television.
It was desperation. They
would
like,
shut off the channel for an hour.
They would turn off... They would pick a day every year.
Cancel their programming.
Nickelodeon shut the channel down and was like, get outside right now and play all day. It was like called the International Day of Play, and there was just this loop message on Nickelodeon that was like, get out, turn your TV off.
Well, that was when people cared about child obesity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. Yeah, Pixel Perfect's basically just Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah, but he creates a girl.
Yeah.
This is borderline like pornographic
weird.
Too.
Yeah, it is weird that he like shapes his. At least in this,
science.
Unlike in Gem, someone does take him aside in this and goes, "Hey, your relationship with your computer is weird."
Yeah, and it's like, and it is kind of like crappy because it's like he has a friend that's a less pretty version of the girl he creates. And which is crappy, yeah.
You deserve better, dear.
She's talented, but she's just like not as pretty. And like he just takes her voice and the songs that she wrote, and then like takes a photo of her and just like photoshops the hell out of her, and then creates a hologram, a pretty version of her. And that's really shitty.
Yeah, but at least they acknowledge it. At least they're like, yeah, this is really weird, and also you gave something life irresponsibly. You're Frankenstein making a horrible mess. Going to the mat, wrestling again.
No, let's.
I love that the tropes are basically at this point, there's like 3 kinds. Franchises that they already had, pop star, suburban life, or weird sport.
Yeah.
Z3. My understanding is people don't like this one.
Z3? I don't really remember one way or the other. Like, I don't have any particular emotions towards it.
Stuck in the Suburbs.
Another pop star film.
Yes. Another one that just feels like they had 1,000 ideas and kind of just smashed them together. Our first appearance of Brenda Song in this list.
Wait, no, it's not.
Is it not?
No, she was in the Santa movie. She was in...
Oh, crap, she was.
Yeah.
Her second appearance.
That was her first, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this is when she was, like, more of a teenager, so they could,
she's still
have her...
cutesy. This
they could give her
Sweet
glamour
Life.
shots and not get judged.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Well, I mean, you should be judged, but...
But Stuck in the Suburbs was one of my favorites, too. It was just, like, good girly fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, pop star.
It's also...
Oh, this is the Panabakers. This is the beginning of the Panabaker sisters.
Oh, God.
Danielle Panabaker, and I forget the other sister's name, who now just, like, she just went to school and became a veterinarian. She didn't stay in show business. I know.
Well, I mean, and if she's happy...
That's why we don't know her name, yeah. I feel like her name starts with a P, like she's like a Pam Panabaker or something. I don't know. But yeah, this
one brings out a lot of tropes for me, in terms of, one, a lot of Disney Channel movies. I get, like, people make jokes about this in movies in general, but if people just talk to each other for 2 minutes, this could be solved. Like, this whole elaborate scenario where these kids are changing this pop star's life, all his friend has to do is say, hey, I lost your phone, someone has it, we gotta go find it.
We need to deactivate it and buy another one, because that exists, too.
This insane scenario goes away. I love that, of just, like, craziness. I love how it's another one that it feels like they had 100 ideas and we're like, we're going to hammer this together, whether it wants to fit together or not. It's like when you give up on a jigsaw puzzle and just start punching it to make it work. Mm-hmm. And also, it made me wonder, this is one where, like, all of the supporting female characters go insane anytime this pop star's brought up. Has that ever actually happened? Like, I know there's all these anecdotal stories about people fainting and losing their cool when the Beatles were a big thing. Like, people running onto Shea Stadium and getting tackled, people crying. Mm-hmm. And, like, you can see the footage, but in my head I'm still like, this couldn't have really happened.
Oh, yeah.
People have never gotten this crazy.
I believe it happens.
I don't know. It's just, this certainly is another one that really locks down it as a trope, where if you have more than 4 girls in a group, they're gonna scream about a boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Tiger Cruise.
Talk when you mentioned 9/11.
Here we go. Enter Hayden Panettiere.
A phrase you never want to say.
Yeah. Soon to be country music sensation. Hayden Panettiere. Before Heroes. Remember the show Heroes?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was maybe her, like, shining role.
Yeah. This is a kind of propaganda movie where it's like...
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I wish my dad would stop serving in the military. I wish I could see my dad. Like, I hate being on a boat.
We live on a base.
Yeah, we live on a boat. We might commit war crimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't asked.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happens.
Yeah.
And, like, people on the boat have people who died in the attacks. And she goes, I realize why you do this now. And I'm like, yuck.
I support the military.
Yeah, I support the military. Yeah, it ends with her looking at the camera and going, now let's go invade Iraq.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. And I know it's well-meaning, but in today's modern light, it's like, this is rough.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel really about this.
Halloween Town High?
This is, again, the third one, I always turn on the third one. Because this is when, like, they're like, oh, we have to bring the monsters to school, but they can't look like monsters, which I'm like, then what's the point?
I know, yeah.
And it's crappy CGI, too much lore. Like, the lore overwhelms it. Not good. Now you see it. Wait a minute.
Ali Mashaka.
This one, I remember so many ads.
Yes.
Because
there was a lot of commercials for this one, and I didn't even care to watch it.
Or back then, more than now. When they had one of these, that was all you heard about for, like, months.
It invaded,
invaded your Disney space.
Tried real hard.
Because I remember the ads where they showed the music and the bits, and they had the cast interviews,
there was a name for those, like, the DCOM extras, they were called, where they would go behind the scenes and interview people.
And Disney 365. Yeah, they would do some bits there.
Disney 365, yeah, I remember all that.
This one's kind of fun, because it's like, the idea is he's a magician, and he's entering a magician contest, but he actually has magic, and the host is also a magic guy. Frank Langella's in this? God, they are masters at getting the C and B list stars into these.
Yeah, geez, they're not busy.
Yeah, they were trying to get Allison Micaiah and I remember her. What happened to her?
Allison who?
Allison Michailek.
Ali Mashaka?
Is that how you pronounce it?
You don't know Ali and AJ?
I know her. I was just like, God. I haven't seen her in a while. She was also in Phil of the Future.
They were like the biggest Disney Channel pop stars ever. They were like, they went on tour with the Cheetah Girls.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, remember we were just talking about, I guess we'll get to Cowbells, but like Ali and AJ Mashaka were like the sister duo. They were like amazing, and they made amazing, like heartfelt, they were like two female John Mayers.
That's
of this time.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
For the time, a compliment.
Okay. Good.
But like I still listen to like that old music, and like they are actually still like
doing
a band.
Things? Okay, that's cool.
Well, yeah, AJ Mashaka's on the Goldbergs now. She does a lot of acting. AJ Mashaka. She was in Secretariat. And do you remember Secretariat?
Yes.
The movie about the horse?
Yeah. The horse one who did the Triple Crown forever ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Before that happened like 2 years in a row.
And then but yeah, no, Ali and AJ Mashaka are like, I was like, what name are you trying to say?
That's interesting. God,
oh my goodness.
This really is, like, I know we're going long, but I'm having fun. This is just kind of fun.
Good.
This is more for us.
Yeah.
This is more for us.
Care. You can stop listening by now. This
is they already turned it off.
Yeah.
When it got to the 30-minute mark, they're like, all right.
We're done here.
But
yeah.
I'm having fun. But yeah, I don't know. I like magic, so I always like anything. Buffalo.
Did somebody say Native Americans?
Oh no.
With a middle part? Or just when I say Native Americans, I mean just one Native American.
Yeah, one Native American. We couldn't get two.
No, we only got the one. I have no reference for this thing.
Based on how short the Wikipedia page is, I'm gonna assume this wasn't that popular.
No. I recognize this poster, but like I don't really care. Go on to the next one. It's Kim Possible. Kim Possible movie.
Yeah.
So the drama.
Is this the first animated one?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's the first animated one.
Is this the time travel one?
Yo, there was so much called advertisements for
this was huge.
Dive.
Yeah, because this was the first time they did the animated, and it was tied in with the lore of the show. It wasn't just like a one-off.
Tied in with the lore of the show. They had like merch and like video. They had the computer games that went with it.
Yeah, and they had music.
Yeah.
And, like, they did, like, 100 ads.
Christy Carlson Romano. Yes, it was just so important. But, like,
and they had all the ads with, like, Buff, Naked Mole Rat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is where, like, they had music videos that went with, like, the movies.
Yeah.
I don't know
did.
What reason, but yeah.
Yeah, this one, oh, man, Kim Possible. I feel like we don't appreciate how big Kim Possible was for a while.
Well, maybe you don't, but, like... Kim Possible is my jam. Kim Possible is my ringtone currently. Like, have you ever heard my ringtone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always laugh because I'm like, man,
live and breathe.
You're living
it. It's the only thing that really matters. I mean, I wanted to be her. Like, I wanted...
Yeah, she was like a role model for our entire generation.
Like, I was like, how do I become an international spy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do I become, like, this, like, Avenger girl? I want to swing from a grappling hook.
Yeah, because there's nothing quite like it. Because there was no, like, James Bondy action spy stuff for geared toward females.
Mm-mm.
They tried Totally Spies, and that was popular, but it wasn't
cool.
Yeah. Like, those are the only two we got.
It served a different purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, man.
Totally Spies was more on the air of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, it felt more like playing, because it was a team, and they all had coded outfits.
Yeah.
And they were, like, slightly sexualized.
They were too curvy for their own good, yeah.
Whereas Kim Possible was more...
anime-ish.
Yeah.
It was,
That was that era of Cartoon Network where they were... Like, Samurai Jack was a hit, so everything they wanted
we gotta go with
action.
Japanese. We gotta go.
Everything has to be, like, action animation and anime.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, was fine.
They made some nice stuff.
It kind of lost me because that wasn't really my preferred taste, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Samurai Jack, though, but we're not talking about that right now, because, by God, we can't.
No.
Yeah.
Go
figure. See, this is what kickstarted it. Because I was just like...
I love Go Figure.
There's so much malarkey in this movie.
Yeah. I realized that, like, in the 2000s, we had, like, quite a few figure skating movies. Like, girl figure... Like, remember Ice Princess with...
Yeah, I always got these two mixed up.
Oh, yeah? But, like, I used to figure skate when I was, like, a kid. That was, like, the sport that I did growing up.
You never told me that.
I never told you that?
I mean, I guess I could have inferred it, because I know you've skated, and I know you dance, so it feels like a logical connection.
Chain of events? Yeah. So, like, these were my jam. Like, I was into these movies.
But, yeah, basically, the plot, this one, for me, because it's really the apex of all of the tropes we've learned so far, because it's about a talented figure skater. She wants to be the best. The only way she can get into this school and be taught by this famous Russian skating coach, because of course she's Russian.
Yeah.
They don't give out figure skating scholarships. She needs a hockey scholarship.
This movie was, like, kind of pseudo Nancy Kerrigan.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Which I feel like it's impossible to do ice skating stuff now and not.
And not be like, oh, girls are mean.
Yeah, the culture is toxic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, like, girls are catty and mean.
And will, like, injure each other permanently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the day we have true gender parodies, when we have something like that on the Disney Channel, but talking about how boys are evil and, like, little boys are just as big a-holes. But until that day, that shining day. Anyway, so let me focus. So yeah, everyone hates her. High school drama, cute boy. We have a celebrity appearance from Christy Yamaguchi.
Yes.
There's the trope of all is lost, and she gets, like, isolated from her friends because one of the bully ice skaters locks her in a closet, and she ends up missing the big meeting with Christy Yamaguchi. And all it would take her to go is, like, no, this other girl abducted me and locked me, like, imprisoned me. She's insane. And everything would be solved, but she can't, because then the movie would be over. Yeah. So we need this drama. She has the super smart brother who uses math to play in hockey, and his robot, of course, becomes a factor at the end. The dad's just a goof. He just has bets with the brother. That's all he does. The mom's kind of earnest. We have all these wacky support characters. Like, every girl has a single factor. The one's big. The one's tiny.
One's quirky. Yeah. And does weird stuff to her hair.
There's also one ice skater who gets fleshed out, and she's, like, not good enough anymore. We see a needle, and it's like, no, you don't need to do steroids. And possibly my favorite line in any movie ever.
No, you don't.
I'm not taking steroids. I'm a diabetic. And I'm like,
wow.
I can't deny the logic of that line. That's what interested me in talking about this, because it is so funny how these movies really are just puzzle pieces that get put together and then painted over to make images.
They're Rubik's Cubed.
Yeah, they're Rubik's Cubes with different images on it that we put together, and yet we still love them. It's film and television. It's like a handful of ideas that we constantly rearrange and reimagine and revitalize, and we have fun every time.
Yeah. Next is Life is Rough.
I effing loved Life is Rough.
Oh my god,
this is my one that I go off about.
Wow.
Because I love...
This is the other Mashaka sister, Kay Mashaka.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, not Mashaka. Panna Baker. There's so many weird names here.
Because I loved Kyle. Because Kyle Massey, he was a guy they pushed hard.
Yeah, they did. They were like, this guy's funny.
Yeah, when they wanted to do more That's a Raven, they just gave him a show. The basic idea is he is like this kind of smart kid. I like how this is that super smart kid trope like Home Alone, but everyone acknowledges he's an a-hole. Like, he's a conniving, manipulative maniac. Mm-hmm. He has like a handler, like a personal assistant who's only friends with him because he saved his life when he was having an asthma attack.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he wants this super rare Gotham Man comic, but the only way he can make the money for it's entering a dog show. Not any other idea. This super smart kid can't think of anything else. Again, a weird sport. Yes, exactly. Dog shows. And there's like this really snooty other person who, to try to keep Kyle from winning, creates a fake family to be like, you found our dog.
Yeah, this is psycho.
Yeah, there's like the lie reveal trope when the AJ girl finds out that he's only doing this for the competition. They don't talk.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes.
And I'm pretty sure the rival dies at the end. Because, of course, Kyle's on a skateboard when he's doing the final routine. And all the judges are like, my word.
I've never seen anything like this. Even though it's probably against the rules.
Yeah, definitely against the rules. So the rival kid knocks the bottoms out of a ramp. There's like a ramp and he's inside it. Causes it to collapse. And crushes him. And I'm like, is he dead? We don't see him or his dog for the rest of the movie. I think they die. I think they get crushed. Yeah. And I love it. I love that movie. Proud Family movie.
Proud Family. Yo, the Proud Family is one of my favorite things ever. I would watch Proud Family every day if I could. I felt like it was the only TV show that, like, understood me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was the only TV show that spoke my language. I feel like as a black kid, like, Proud Family actually, like, did some research. Do you know what I mean? It had authentic blackness to it.
And I think that's the thing we talked about. It's just, like, when you center it on an entire family of black people as opposed to having just the one token black person. You can actually think about, what is it really?
Who are these people?
Yeah.
How do they live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one person doesn't have to do Tiffany Haddish bit.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, the Proud Family movie was bizarre.
Yeah. See, that's the most interesting thing about these high-end movies.
Yeah.
Like, Kim Possible is fine because it's super secret agent stuff. There's a logic to stretching it out into a big, flashy movie. Like, it feels normal. But to fit, like, even Stevens in this into, like, the structure and form of a movie and to have stakes, they have to go insane.
Yeah, and this movie goes completely insane.
Yeah. They go on a vacation to a tropical island, because it always has to be, like...
duh.
There always has to be hula skirts and tropical trees,
Yeah,
or it's not a movie.
But, there's, like, this mad scientist, George Washington Carver, or whatever. Like, it was supposed to be, like, a peanut. Anyway, this is about peanuts. This is about mutant peanuts, so make sense of that.
Yeah, he, like, is cloning peanuts to become super soldiers.
Yes.
And he's replacing the Proud Family with clones. I don't know why that connects. Penny, I think, gets stuck with the rest of the clone family, and her dad gets stuck with, who's honestly one of my favorite animated characters, because he's just all explosions.
He is,
There's not a quiet moment for that man.
He's like the Mr. Crocker, like, of... And he's like a failed businessman, too, but really the wife is supporting the family. She's the vet.
She's carrying the weight.
She's a vet, yeah, and she's making the big bucks. He's just trying to sell his Proud Snacks, which everyone agrees sucks. But
yes, but he's just with the clone Penny, which he's happy with, because it's like, oh, she's following the rules now.
Finally,
nice.
My daughter, yeah.
I love it. I love how insane it is. I love how it ties into, like, sitcoms would always have one or two episodes where they'd go to, like, Hawaii or Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you just wanted to go on vacation.
Yeah, we just need to film somewhere else. And
we want to film somewhere else. You know, we've locked down all these episodes where we're in the same
sets. We need to get out of the
sets.
studio, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, the studio sucks.
Let's move, yeah.
It's insane. Twitches.
Okay, so this is probably why millennials are now obsessed with witchcraft. Like this in Harry Potter.
Oh
like there were so many like witchcraft-esque properties
things
going
about
on
magic.
when we were children. Like it just makes sense that like now if you look on Instagram there's a lot of like pseudo witchcraft things.
Where everyone's into Wiccan stuff and like,
or at least pretends
rocks.
to be and
everyone buys rocks
and things like that. Twitches with T and Tamara Mowry is how that started.
Yes.
Twin witches. I mean, this is good fun.
It is the plot of Sister Sister, but with magic.
They're like, make it Halloween-y.
I love
somehow.
It's like, we need to give them a movie. Do you want to do a Sister Sister movie?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, they're too old.
I imagine this, like,
they already graduated.
Yeah, I imagine this, like, bored, like, executive just, like, leaning on a couch and throwing a ball up into the air.
We signed a contract with them. What the hell should we do?
But we want more Sister Sister stuff. What if we made it Halloween-y?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, witches, sure. All right.
This was all... Wait, wasn't this like a... not a switched at birth, but this was like another, like, separated at birth. Man, they're out of ideas with these two. Like, the only thing they can do with twins is separate them at birth and then have them meet each other.
They want twins because there's something weirdly interesting about twins, but they don't know what to do with them.
No.
Other than, like, the two plots.
See, like, this is why Disney Channel is, like I said, there's no mediums. It's like, we can't
have
make
a normal
sense of
life.
2 siblings.
Yeah.
So we can make sense of 5.
Yeah.
We can do a movie called Quince about quintuplets and make this somehow make sense. But two siblings? No, it won't work.
No, that's stupid. We need a twist.
Yeah.
Like, we can understand a basic suburban family, but one of them has to be a super scientist for some reason. Mm-hmm. I just remember this one having a lot of lore, and that always kind of turned me off, because I'm like, I like the stuff where they're just hanging out and trying out their powers, but then when it gets to, like, the darkness and the twin moons, I'm like, that loses me.
There's, like, they make a universe out of this.
And I'm like, I just want to go back to them, like, picking on their bullies with magic, please.
Yeah, no,
that's the fun,
not good
or,
enough.
like, getting ready for their party.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. All right, so we're going to pause here really quick, because we're about to get to a very big transition in the Disney Channel movie. The next movie we're going to talk about is really the pendulum that swings and changes the entire dynamic of how these movies are made, how they look, how they sound, and how they are marketed. And until we talk about that, get your head in the game. Wink.
I gotta go my own way.
Wink. And until...
Hey, stick to the status quo, okay, Carter?
Wink.
That's okay. We're all in this together.
Wink.
All right, we're done.
We got
it.
I'm Carter.
And I'm Sydney.
Have a magical day,
Thank
I guess.
you.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Disney Desk. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and thumbs up this video. For more content, be sure to check out our Tumblr and look for us on Facebook. Have a magical day.